Alright, shalom. All praise to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Double honors to the elders of GMS, which feed us with honor, feed us with knowledge and understanding. Okay, and that's how the Most High set things up, is orderly, man. Okay, because that's the way things go. Because our elders had elders, okay, and so on. So now the Most High set up men to feed us with this truth and understanding, because they've been telling us about this for years now. Okay, before some of us were even born, they were saying this. All right, so now it's coming to pass through the power and the spirit of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Okay, so I wanted to read one verse before I start this news report. This is the book of Isaiah 9 and 15, and it says, "The innocent, the Salakia." And it says, this is the book of Isaiah 9 verse 15. The ancient and honorable. Who's the ancient? The ancient are the elders, man. Another word for ancient is age, man. Age in this truth. Alright, let me see if I can get the precept for that. But it's ancient or elders. And it says, the ancient and honorable is the head, and the prophets that teach lies is the tail. That's a lot of these other groups out here. That's what they are. They're going to become the tail. Why are they going to become the tail? Because the things that they've said is not going to come to pass. What are they telling you? Peace, peace. Or they're not informing you about this third world war, and they're not telling you about the issues that are about to befall Jacob and this world, man. Everybody's going to have to hit that scale. Okay, so now we're coming to the times of this prophecies coming to pass. And it says, "For the leaders of this people cause them to err, and they that are led of them are destroyed." And that's talking about these other groups. A lot of them are being led astray without getting the fullness of it. That's why we give them, our elders, double honors, because of the things that they've done. Look at the fruit. Look at what they've said. They've not told us peace. They told us wartime is coming and to prepare ourselves. And that's what we're seeing. So let's get right into these news stories. And they'll speak for themselves, okay? You don't gotta be, we've been talking long enough and trying to hammer into Jake's head this stuff is happening. So let Esau and let the news tell you.
Limited and tailored use of US forces, says the draft resolution, with no ground troops. And Syria's regime continues to prepare itself for cruise missile strikes. The US Secretary of State told a skeptical congressional committee evidence that Assad used chemical weapons was solid.
We have physical evidence of where the rockets came from and when. Not one rocket landed in regime-controlled territory. Not one.
They agreed to put the draft resolution to a vote next week, and Russian President Vladimir Putin was fast to react.
In line with international law, only the UN Security Council could sanction the use of force against a sovereign state. Any other pretext or method which might be used to justify the use of force against an independent sovereign state is inadmissible and can only be interpreted as an aggression.
And that begs the question, what sort of response can there be from Syria's allies if there are strikes? This unverified video shows a Syrian missile launcher reported to be maneuvering at Al-Mazar air base in Damascus. The first Syrian verbal response to the US resolution came from its UN ambassador.
How could the United States of America act, unilaterally speaking, from outside the context of the United Nations? Who asked Mr. Obama to be the bully of the war?
This is not Iraq, and this is not Afghanistan.
But the US president appears resolute in his messaging. If, as is likely, the resolution is approved, he'll have the backing from Congress for a 60-day time period. US...
Hold on. I got a script. I got a script for that. Hold on. The scripts are beautiful. This is the book of Habakkuk 2 and 5. And it says, we'll start at 4. And it says, "Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not." Hold on, man. I gotta slow down, man. It says, behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Yea, also, but he transgresseth by wine. He is a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, and heap unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, a taunting proverb against him, saying, woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. Verse 8, and it says, because thou spoiled many nations, all the remnant. Didn't he say who made Obama the bully, the world bully? Okay, it says, because thou spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because men's blood, and for the violence of the land, of the city, and of all that dwell therein.
Navy maneuvers
play
continue.
that again for you, so you understand what that man said, what that damn heathen said.
For a 60-day time period. U.S. Navy maneuvers continue with the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz
speaking from outside the context of the United Nations. Who asked Mr. Obama to be the bully of the world?
This is not Iraq, and this is not Afghanistan.
But the US President appears resolute in his messaging. If, as is likely, the resolution is approved, he'll have the backing from Congress for a 60-day time period. US Navy maneuvers continue with the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz, last reported in the Red Sea. While in Syria, for the people at least, there is the looming question: will a limited action by the US make any difference, or could it make the situation even worse? Andrew Simmons, Al Jazeera.
Alright. We play the next video.
Been concentrating on the domestic agenda for the... In public at least, President Vladimir Putin has been concentrating on the domestic agenda for the last week, visiting flood-stricken areas of Russia's Far East and shaking hands with a walrus in Vladivostok. But his closest advisors have made it clear that he's been enjoying President Obama's discomfort over Syria. When the two men met in Northern Ireland in June, President Obama said afterwards that President Putin was like the bored kid at the back of the classroom.
And when it comes to such misunderstandings or such a reluctance to hear, this is a signal of something's not right about the relation. Something is very seriously not right.
1,000 miles from Moscow in the mineral-rich Ural Mountains, there's a very different brand of US-Russian relations. Here, the American aircraft manufacturer Boeing has opened a new state-of-the-art plant for building vital sections of the 787 Dreamliner. It's a joint operation with a Russian titanium producer.
At the height of the Cold War, it would have been unthinkable for Russia and America to cooperate so closely on something as sensitive as aerospace manufacturing. And yet, more than 2 decades on, the relationship remains fractious and unstable.
Just to add on to this story, it's Book of Obadiah 1 and 7. It says, all the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee, and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There was none understanding in him. Because their relations, man, that's Russia eating their bread. The only reason they let the Boeing 750 airline, whatever, with the titanium part is so they can eat bread, so they can get paid, man. It's money. That's how they're eating the bread. But now they're going to be the ones to shoot the missiles over here and get locked in war.
In this new era, business is business for Russians, but their president is not particularly out of touch with public opinion. Even here, where many jobs now rely on America, I found there was suspicion of the old enemy.
Everyone knows what they are doing in Iraq and Iran, interfering everywhere all the time. I don't